Thank you so much for having me here today. The room is filled with an amazing energy, so thank you very much. I'm here to share my story. We all have a story, don't we? And each of us, when we tell our story, there's one common thread that's usually the theme in every story, and that is pain. And I mean, sometimes it's deep-rooted pain in the bowels pain, where there's nowhere to go but up. And sometimes we need a little inspiration to pick ourselves up. And sometimes we need that nudge pushing us or a kick pushing us forward. And sometimes that's not even enough. Sometimes we need a crane to lift us up out of that pain. And yet we have a story that we have to tell. It's part of what we've learned. It's part of our DNA moving forward, that journey. And like any story, there's always a beginning. And each time we talk of our story of pain, it's anchored even deeper into our unconscious mind. Has everyone heard that they have an unconscious mind in this room? Does everyone know that their unconscious mind is the most powerful engine that runs them? Amazing. And each time we tell that story, we install it even deeper into our whole being. When we tell the story of success, we also install that even deeper. I learned these skills and strategies when I became a hypnotherapist. And I know everyone, sometimes they look at you like a deer in headlights when they hear the word hypnosis. However, hypnotherapy paved the way for me to really work with my unconscious mind, which made it important on the journey of healing. And so I'm here to tell you that my story began a few years back. Actually, let me start from the beginning. I thought I had a perfect life at one time, and I giggle inside thinking, what's perfect? It's all about being real. And I was raised with a mother, a single mother, in poverty. I was raised with what was called a learning disability. I was able to create a life using her strategies, her skills, her techniques, and overcome that. Have a good life and earn and be prosperous to the ability that I wanted. I was also able to overcome that learning disability and find another way around learning. So I'm motoring along. I find a handsome man. I get married. I have a beautiful daughter. I have a son. Oh, I adore my son. And my daughter too. And I'm a little biased about my son because he's mine. And it wasn't until we actually started preschool that I really began to notice how anxious he was. I really began to see how he struggled with speech. And my goodness, the door of negativity opened up. We started hearing about red flags, and we started hearing labels, and we started hearing parallel play. We started to hear every single thing about what this child was not doing, what this child should be doing, what this child couldn't do. And it was like being sucked into this vortex of negativity. It really moved me in a direction that I never thought I would ever get to. I became so sad and depressed. I was so deep into my pain that I felt terrified for the first time. Actually, deep, deep fear. I felt helpless. I felt sad. I wasn't even functioning for my kids. And the deeper the pain got, the worse it got at home, the more challenges at school, because what you focus on expands, does it not? We've heard of the laws of attraction. And I used to go, yeah, laws of attraction. Well, I saw it in the making. What you focus on expands. So the more pain I was in, and the more fear I felt, and the more helpless I was, it just kept going, and I got more of it. And so we were motoring along, and at one point I found myself on the floor praying, thinking, oh my God, we need to recover. This child needs to heal. And then I felt immense guilt and shame because I had sealed that door of spirituality, which led me to the doctor's office one day thinking and saying it, feeling it, and saying, you know, I would like to wake up in about 10 years when this is all sorted out. And because I didn't have a plan B. I was a plan B type of girl. You have a learning disability, find a way around it. You're born in poverty, find a way around that. Work, do what you need to do. So it was the very first time. That led me to really started, like, I didn't have enough inspiration to lift me up. I didn't have enough of a nudge. My family tried to help, and it was still not enough. And the crane came. And as I had started the journey of creating this change, I thought, now I need to reinvent who I am. I need to really think about what my mission is. Who am I? And what am I going to do for this child? And the child that's functioning okay, that's suffering because there's no attention on her. And how are we going to save this marriage? Because let's remember, I was married. Still am married. We survived, thank God. So as I began to think, I thought, am I the only woman going through this? Am I the only woman who's dealing with chaos and pain? And here's the thing. If I were to scan the room, we're all different people. There's some men in here, but most of us are women. If I were to speak to each of you individually, I bet you would have a story. I bet your story would be of challenge or of pain, and it would be deep-rooted pain. Who has encountered pain? Who has had abuse or challenges or any crap that they've hit in their life? We all have. So the common thread is pain. And we all go through the same things. What are some of the things we're doing today that we've had to take on? A family is enough, like they don't give you an instruction manual on a family, do they? What other things are we dealing with? Any thoughts? What are we dealing with today? Addictions. We're dealing with stress that we never thought. What other things are we dealing with?
Mental health.
Yes. Have you not heard of mental health more than ever? Exactly. These are a few things. We could make lists and write books, thousands of books on all the things that we're doing today that we never had to do before. And so I really started to define how I was going to reinvent myself. Because I thought I had a perfect life. Not. Isn't that what they say? That's what the kids say, not. Thought I had a perfect life, and it wasn't real. So that moved me on. This is a picture of a beautiful woman. This picture depicts every single one of us in here. Beautiful on the inside and out. As I started to reinvent, I really honed in on those hypnotherapy skills. I honed in on the unconscious mind. I honed in on what could I do to improve, not only for myself, for the kids that I had. The very first thing I decided was I needed some steps there to figure out how I was going to start on this journey. The first thing I decided was to drop the fight, because I had been fighting hard, fighting for him, fighting the school, fighting every single person. And then I realized when you're fighting, you're in combat zone, you're in conflict, you're pissed off, you're in a rage, and you're not happy every day. And guess what? You're at war. And when you're at war, sometimes the end result is death. And that wasn't an option for me. I had to run this journey, and I had to live my life. So I decided advocacy was the most important thing. Learning the skills of how to speak. When you are advocating, you're speaking crystal clear. You are speaking with an end result in mind. You are getting your message across. And you're not fighting when you're doing it. You are learning how to get the results that you want so that you know and the people you're working with know. That's the power of the unconscious mind. When you are aligned inside and you are speaking the language that you're in rapport and that you are getting the result, wow. Not only for yourself, for those that you're advocating for. Just a simple thing with how the unconscious mind works. Have you ever heard someone say, don't spill the milk, or don't do that? what's the very first thing they do? They spill the milk, right? That's part of how to speak. Your speech is important. Like the story we create, right? If you continuously talk about the story of pain, you get more pain. You talk about the journey of survival, the journey of moving forward, the journey of creating, you're going to get more of that. And sometimes we need the crane shoved in our face so that we can hold on to it and be lifted up. I also realized I thought I was a leader. I really did. Because, I always had a plan B and I was successful. I worked well. Yay, I'm out there leading. And I realized that it was more than that. This journey was about speaking properly and leading the way. So not everyone in this room is a mother. Not everyone in this room wants to be a mother. Some of you might be contemplating it. Some of you might be fostering children. Some of you might be raising a child that's not yours, your spouse's child, a niece, a nephew, whoever that is. Some of you might be mentoring. We've been talking about leadership and mentoring this morning. Some of you might be paving the way for others. Leadership means you're standing in your power. It's not a dictatorship. It means that you're showing, leading, and modeling the way for others. Imagine what you can do in your leadership skills. Sometimes it gets shoved in your face and then you're like, okay, I guess I got to do this. And you do it. Leadership is part of everyone's DNA. Step into those shoes and do what you need to do with ease, with love, and it just flows and those skills come to you. The third part for me was because I was talking a lot to a lot of different agencies and people and groups, was to really empower. I was looking up, I'm like, okay, I have to tell these ladies about empowerment. What does that mean? I needed to know what that meant, what it meant. And what I realized was when you empower someone, it means that you are leading and guiding them to create change so that they can hold on to their change and create the life that they want. Step by step by step. Imagine as a leader advocating, leading, and seeing someone follow you and then create their own leadership and model those skills. That's what I started doing in my own life. If you had told me I was going to be here today, I would have laughed. The journey came to me. And as I started advocating, I started to lead, and I started to empower, there was change in my home. My child became relaxed and calm. Our family became peaceful. And then I started hearing feedback like, what are you doing? Why is he changing? How come he's so calm? And I'm like, oh. It was learning the neurolinguistics. It was learning how to work with the unconscious mind. My son is now almost 12, and that kid has such alignment inside with his unconscious mind. It's unbelievable. So we can all do it, no matter how young we are, no matter what our station is, no matter where we're at, we can use these skills to be the best that we are. Model yourself as a leader. Follow someone in their leadership and grow into your role. The last piece I'm going to leave you with is to really invest in yourself. You can't be good for anyone if you're not investing in yourself. Take the steps each day to decide that your journey is more important. You can't be a good mother. You can't be a good role model. You can't be that sister, wife, mentor, whatever it is that your role is in life unless you fuel and source yourself inside. Now, I'm not telling you to go take 100 courses. I'm telling you to take one step. Learn from someone. Today's a great day. We've seen the schools. We've seen how other women are being empowered. Learn that way. Learn any way you can. Talk to someone. Read a book. Do whatever you need to do to take one step to begin investing in yourself. It's the greatest thing you will ever do, is that investment with you. It will tie in all of those skills for you. Everyone has a story. We all have a story, don't we? We all do. It's your choice and your decision how you tell your story. So if you decide that your story will always be a story of pain, you'll get more pain magnified as each second goes on. If you choose today to make your story of pain like this, make it valid. It's part of what's brought you where you are today. It is how you've gotten where you are. It's your journey. It needs recognition. So I'm telling you, tell your story and make your story 20% of your journey. Make it the part of you that is, look, this is what happened, and now this is where I'm going. This is what I'm creating. And your unconscious mind is hearing and listening and will give you more of the story you're creating. When you speak about your story of pain in neutral, you keep the learnings because you have to learn in order to move on and grow, right? We need to do that. So make your journey of a 20% of your story and move it forward with the journey of success. And resource with others. And remember, you are a leader. And you can grow those skills and you can advocate and imagine how much you'll get back when you empower others. Today I'm going to offer everyone a complimentary MP3. It's a bubble track. And I encourage you to come. You can sign up for my newsletter. I won't send you an email daily. It'll be once a month with some techniques and tools for your magnificence, for your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being and how it works with the unconscious mind. And I'll send you the Bubble MP3. The Bubble is the best way to really start that relationship with your unconscious mind. It blocks out everything that doesn't serve you, and it allows your advocacy, your leadership, and empowering others to grow and manifest. I am so grateful to be here today. Thank you, Charla, for this amazing opportunity. And go be, do, and have everything you're meant to do. Thank you. Thanks.